it's been a while since Texas and Texas A&M have been on the field together. First time since 2011. And since this series started in 1894, this is the longest these two schools have had between matchups. So conference realignment really, really hurt us there, but conference realignment brought us back. So Texas is currently 5-point favorites on the road in College Station in what, in my opinion, is going to be one of the hardest games to win for a road team all year. You can talk about all kinds of different environments and all that, but with everything building up in this game, and obviously not playing for 13 years, and the last time they played, Texas won on a last-second field goal. And I mean, you've had A&M spend the last 13 years in the SEC saying they're better than Texas in the Big 12, and then you've got Texas is pretty much saying they're better than everybody all the time. And I mean, it's just hate back and forth, back and forth. This one's going to be a good one to watch.
Isn't this incredible that when we previewed the SEC earlier in the year, back during the summer, and we talked about, we had other episodes too, just there's so many times that when the schedule got released for the SEC for this year, the most talked about matchup, period, of the entire SEC was Texas going to Texas A&M because of all of the just absolute hate that you're going to see. This is what makes college football the best sport on the planet. It is when two teams that just have an utter disdain for one another. Fans hate each other. Teams hate each other. There's not one thing that these two teams like about one another. And the mentality that Texas A&M has about feeling slighted because Texas acts like that they're just so much better than them type deal, like all of that is just, it's remarkable. It's awesome. It's what makes college football so great. And what we said back during the summer is that if I could have one wish for this entire college football season, and I'm an Alabama fan saying this, I wanted the Texas versus Texas A&M game to have some serious meaning to it. Mm-hmm. Whether it would be to keep another team out of the playoff or to get to an S, whatever, other than just the fact that these two teams hate each other. And here we are, and the winner of this game goes to Atlanta to play for the SEC championship. It's that simple. There is no other hypotheticals, nothing. It's whoever comes out on top goes to Atlanta to play for an SEC title. It's Texas A&M.
A&M's never been to an SEC championship game, right?
They have not.
And obviously Texas in their first year, they really would love to make a statement and get to Atlanta.
Correct. So Texas A&M has the opportunity to go for the first time ever to Atlanta for an SEC championship, and they are the ones that can end Texas's hopes. And let's be real, they're the ones that can represent the rest of the SEC who does not want Texas to win the SEC championship in their first year in the SEC. Yep. That's what's at stake in this game. It's literally everything is at stake. So, and then a night game at Kyle Field. We saw what that place was like when LSU came to town a few weeks ago. Just incredible. You were down there. First game of the year to start the year. You were down there for the Notre Dame A&M game and talked about how awesome that atmosphere was. I think we can multiply those two things together and it won't equal what's going to be Saturday night. So to your point, man, I agree 1,000%. Texas will earn, they already are one of the best teams in the country, but the amount of respect that I'll personally give to them if they can go into that environment and take care of business in this spot, big time. And as far as the play on the field, I think what it comes down to is, can Texas A&M get pressure on Quinn Ewers? We saw Georgia do it, and it just wrecked Texas's offense. I don't think that Texas will be able to. Auburn had a lot of success last week with Jarquez Hunter running the football against them, but I don't know that Texas can line up and just pound the football at A&M. I don't think they can. That's just my thoughts on that. So this is Can I just say this is a Quinn Ewers legacy game type deal? That's what this game is.
You think Sark's going to stick to his 40-play scripts?
He pretty much does all the time for the most part. He might, man. He might. But do you agree with me? Like, if Texas goes out, you know how big this game is to these fans. If Texas were to go out and lose and Quinn Ewers doesn't play well, I mean, there's already a lot of people that kind of would rather see Arch Manning play anyway. Like, it's kind of like they like Quinn Ewers a lot, but I don't know how much Texas just necessarily is just so in love with Quinn Ewers. Right. And then you got people like, Greg McElroy and other people talking about how this Texas team with all this talent that they kind of leave you with always wanting more. And you have all these just really talented pieces and one of the best play callers in the sport. But Quinn Ewers, like, one game will look really good in some moments, and in some moments in the game, he doesn't. I mean, really, the best game I feel like he's played at the biggest moments was in the Big 12 championship game last year at Alabama.
Yeah.
If he goes into College Station and just lights it up and plays really well, I think that this is a legacy game for him that Texas fans, he'll be endeared to Texas fans forever.
That's the thing. I feel like they have played, maybe he has played a lot better on the road, it seems like, than at home. I mean, obviously Alabama, again, away from home in the Big 12 championship game. They went to Michigan earlier this year.
Yep.
Again, when they played Georgia at home, obviously it didn't look great.
No. And he played pretty well at Arkansas. But to that point, I'm glad you brought up the road deal. At Arkansas at 11 a.m. local and at Vandy. That's the 2 road games that Texas has played. This ain't Arkansas at 11 a.m. and this ain't Vandy.
No.
So this will be the first time. Dude, this is by far, think about this. Like, I heard somebody mention this the other day. As far as big conference play, like Texas, like the biggest stadium that Texas would ever play in on the road was like 60,000 seats.
Yeah.
And this is 100 and what, like 8, 10, whatever thousand seats it's going to be in Kyle Field. And whatever it is, it's over 100,000.
Yeah.
That's at Kyle Field. So as far as the matchup, again, can Texas A&M get pressure?
Yeah.
On Quinn Ewers. Because A&M has been pretty bad at defending the explosive pass play. The secondary can be had in a downfield passing game. But like we've seen, like Texas can do that. But they've been more, it seems like, with Sark and this bunch, like you and I talked about it during that Arkansas game. Man, they didn't push the ball down the field hardly at all.
Yeah.
They just kept throwing your shorter passes and more short and intermediate game. And I think to beat this A&M bunch, you've got to push the ball down the field. So can you give him time against that nasty Texas A&M D front? And if you can, I think Texas wins the game. On the flip side of that, I mean, A&M got down 21-0 quick to Auburn, and it seemed like that was about to be a blowout. And then Marcel Reed and that offense got cooking and played much better ball. Texas's defense.
Same thing against LSU at home.
Yeah. And Texas's defense, I've been very impressed with this year. They're honestly, they were a lot. I thought the defense, we all thought the defense was, everybody did, that the defense was going to be good going into the year. But we talked about in preseason wise that losing those monster defensive tackles like they did, Kavondre Sweat and Byron Murphy, that we thought they'd take a little bit of a step back. Honestly, I just think they're a different style of defense, which has been a good thing for them. They got a lot more speed. They rush the passer really well. They got multiple pass rushers that can get after you. They got one of the best middle linebackers in the country. And so I think that Texas's defense could give A&M a lot of problems too. But unless I'm mistaken, I mean, Texas hasn't really faced a like big-time dual threat quarterback yet this year, have they?
Taylor Green?
Yeah, but like they don't really run him in the actual QB design run game much.
Yeah.
Like his is more like when the play breaks down, he takes off running. Marcel Reed, obviously they run the read option with him a lot, and they run him in the design QB run game. So like I don't know that they've played really anybody that like that they use the QB in the design run game like A&M's going to do.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think this is going to be, I think it's going to live up to the hype. I think it's going to be one of the best, probably the best football game of the weekend. And what do you think? What's your thoughts?
Well, you know, I already took Texas A&M plus 7.5 early in the week. And I'm seriously contemplating taking them money line.
Little sprinkle?
Yes, might sprinkle the money line. I know I'll probably get a boost on one of these sports books here in Indiana. They'll offer a little profit boost on it, but yeah, it's. I know there's ways Texas can win this game, but it's really hard for me to see them going in there and pulling it out. And if they do, props to them. And everything we've said about them and their schedule and all that stuff, like we've just kind of been giving them the benefit of the doubt on the eye test all season long. And everything we've said, well, okay, you went out and you proved it. You won. I mean, it's not the fact that it's like number 3 versus number 20, right? I mean, this is Texas A&M, like,
yeah.
and this is going to be just so heated, and it's going to be. I mean, it's going to be very, very tough for Texas to win this game. They have the talent to do it. They've got the quarterback to do it. They've got the running back to do it. But man, just overcoming A&M. Heck, I think Elko. I mean, if this was last year and realignment took place last year and Jimbo was the coach last year, like, yeah, I'd be taking Texas all day.
All
But
day.
Mike Elko is head and shoulders a better coach than
Yep.
Jimbo Fisher.
Yep.
And it's his first year. He's got them in a spot where they can make the conference championship game. And we saw what he did at Duke and everything. Like, he's well on his way to kind of being in the upper echelon of coaches for years to come. And
I
Texas
agree.
A&M made a great hire with that.
Yeah,
And so I think
he's a ball player.
Aggies.
You got you're taking the Aggies to win? Is that what you said?
I don't know if I'm going to bet it yet, but if you put a gun to my head, I would say Aggies win this game.
Okay. All right. I'm with you. I've got Texas A&M plus 5.5 as a best bet in this game. I just think that, again, like what you just said, I think Mike Elko is the difference for Texas A&M here. He's not Jimbo Fisher. I love this Texas A&M defensive front, able to get after Ewers. They've only faced one defensive front all year long that's anywhere near as good as this. I know Michigan's got a good D front, but I don't think they're as good at getting after the passer as a Georgia is or as A&M is.
Michigan doesn't have the team speed.
No, Michigan's more of a mauling, stop the run defensive front.
Yeah.
And yeah, A&M is more, they can do both. But I think A&M gets after the passer much better with Nick Scorton and Shamar Turner, Shamar Stewart, all that bunch there. So I think they're going to be able to get after Ewers in this game and do enough on offense with Marcel Reed. I wish that Le'Veon Moss was still playing in this game. If he was, I'd be much more confident in taking this. But still, Amari Daniels is a really good running back for A&M. The freshman Terry Bussey, he got a couple of carries against Auburn as well, the 5-star superstar freshman. I think you'll see him a little bit in the run game as well. And I just think that atmosphere, Mike Elko, and that defense for A&M gets it done. So I'll take A&M plus 5.5 as a best bet. And I might join you as well with maybe put 75% of it on A&M at plus 5.5, and then take another 25% and sprinkle it on the money line.
Last week of the regular season, man, just go all out.
Might as well.
Go all out.